Behind fame, cameras, and applause, there are stories that are rarely told with calm and respect. Stories that exist beyond headlines and images, stories that unfold quietly, far from public judgment. In this clip, we explore the life of a famous model and a recognized actress from a deeply human and reflective perspective, focusing on the contrast between visible success and the inner battles that often remain unspoken. This is a story about personal searching, about emotional weight, about the need for peace, and about how, sometimes, true refuge is found far away from everything that once seemed to give meaning. If this story brings you value, stay with us, share it, and continue discovering more stories like this. Welcome to the channel, and thank you for being here. Thank you for giving a few minutes to a story that does not seek to impress, but to connect. A story that does not aim to judge, but to understand. Because behind every famous face, there is a life rarely shown without filters, filled with contradictions, quiet doubts, and moments of vulnerability. And today, we talk about the famous model, about the recognized actress, not from the shine of fame, but from the silences that almost no one hears, from the emotions that often go unnoticed. From a very young age, she understood that her life would not be ordinary, not because someone promised it to her, but because her environment, her circumstances, and the way she perceived the world forced her to grow faster than she would have wanted. She learned early that adapting is not always a choice, but often a way to survive. Her childhood was not a perfect story. It was a stage marked by early emotional responsibilities, by a home where inner noise was often louder than words, and where learning to be strong felt less like an option and more like a daily obligation. As time passed, her beauty began to open doors, but it also raised expectations, constant stares, and a silent pressure that never appears in photographs. The famous model slowly realized that the world does not always ask how you are feeling, but rather what you can offer. And in that uneven exchange, many people learn to smile even when they feel exhausted inside, hiding their tiredness behind confidence and elegance. Still, she kept moving forward, because moving forward seemed like the only option, because stopping felt frightening, and because when everyone expects something from you, failing can feel like disappearing. The recognized actress grew up under the spotlight, learning to live with outside opinions, with excessive praise and harsh criticism, often contradictory and often unfair. Applause could feel overwhelming, and silence could feel heavy. In public, everything appeared to be in order, carefully maintained and controlled, but in private, doubts found space to grow. And the question that lingered in her mind was both simple and complex at the same time. Is this really enough to feel fulfilled, or is something essential still missing? There came a moment when her fame reached levels many consider the ultimate achievement. Opportunities multiplied, recognition followed, and her image became familiar to millions. And yet, that was precisely when she began to feel most disconnected from herself. Not because she rejected what she had accomplished, but because she understood that success does not always come with balance, and that being recognized does not guarantee being understood. The more people watched her, the less space she felt she had to truly listen to herself, to her needs, and to her emotions. That was when something unexpected began to take an important place in her life, something completely distant from noise, cameras, and the speed of the digital world. Away from events, opinions, and constant exposure, the actress found a refuge few people knew about. A space where time moved slower, where expectations faded, and where it did not matter who she was to the world, but how she felt within herself. Surrounded by nature and animals, she discovered a different way to breathe, to exist without performance. The famous model began spending time with horses, not as a superficial activity, but as a deep, silent, and transformative experience. In that world, there were no external demands, no imposed expectations, no rushed judgments. Horses did not ask for explanations or perfection, they responded only to calm, presence, and authenticity. And for someone who had lived so long under constant observation, this form of connection felt honest, grounding, and profoundly healing. As days passed, that bond grew stronger. In that space, the actress found something fame had never truly given her: genuine tranquility. Caring, training, observing, and connecting without words became a personal ritual, a way of returning to the essentials, of remembering that before being a public figure, she was simply a person with emotions, doubts, fears, and a deep need for balance. Halfway through her story, when many might believe everything was already resolved, the recognized actress faced one of the most introspective moments of her life. It was not a visible crisis, not something announced to the world. It was an internal and silent process, where she had to accept that not everything heals by moving fast, that not every problem is solved by accumulating achievements, and that sometimes true growth requires stopping, listening, and looking inward with honesty. During this period, the famous model began making more conscious decisions, distancing herself from environments that did not bring peace and moving closer to what made her feel present and grounded. She learned to protect her energy, to value silence, and to choose calm over constant stimulation. She understood that she was not obligated to meet every expectation, that she could redefine her path, and that her value did not depend solely on external approval, but on the relationship she had with herself. This process was neither immediate nor easy. There were doubts, fears, and days when the past felt heavier than the present. There were moments of uncertainty and quiet resistance to change. But little by little, the actress built a more honest version of herself, one that did not need constant validation, one that allowed imperfection, and one that understood that calm, stability, and inner peace are also powerful forms of success. Today, from the outside, many may still imagine a perfect life. But the reality is far more human and far deeper. The recognized actress learned that fame is a stage, but real life happens beyond it, in quiet moments, in private decisions, in routines that no one sees, and in spaces where no one applauds, yet where one can finally be authentic. This story is not about leaving everything behind, but about balance. About remembering that behind every visible achievement, there is a person who also gets tired, who also questions, who also searches for meaning, and who also needs to disconnect. The famous model did not stop being who she was, she simply learned how to be herself without getting lost along the way. And perhaps that is the most powerful lesson in her story. That no matter how many people are watching, if you do not listen to yourself, the noise eventually wins. That no matter how many applauses you receive, without inner peace, the echo feels empty. And that sometimes, the answer is not in doing more, achieving more, or proving more, but in slowing down, feeling more, and reconnecting with what truly matters. If this story resonated with you, if at any point it felt like it was about more than fame or success, it may be because, in different ways, we are all searching for the same thing: peace, meaning, and real connection. Thank you for staying until the end. Thank you for being part of this space where stories are told with respect and depth. If you want to continue discovering human stories behind well-known faces, we invite you to subscribe, support the channel, and share this clip with someone who might find value in it. See you in the next story.